Shalom and welcome to this week's edition of the Rabbi's Ramblings. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'd like to share a story with you that occurred with a friend of mine. He was in Jerusalem, in Yerushalayim, and it was time for the afternoon or mincha prayer, and he walked into a local shtibel, a local synagogue, to try to catch a minyan, a quorum of 10 men. While he was there was this father with his 3 sons, and they were making a bit of trouble. And every time they would do something, the father would yell at them, and he was really annoyed with his children. So my friend tells me that while he was looking at this father with his sons, he couldn't stop thinking to himself, if you can't control your kids, or if your kids get on your nerves, don't bring them to shul. You're disturbing everybody by yelling at them every few moments. At the end of the service, at the end of mincha, it comes time for the mourner's kaddish. All 3 of these young boys stand up to recite the kaddish, as they were orphans. My friend says that he turned red in the face because he could not have been more wrong in his judgment of this individual, thinking that he was the father of their son, of these sons, and really he was just a guardian, someone who was actually doing a great deed, great mitzvah, to bring these little boys to shul so they can recite kaddish after their father, who had recently passed away. The lesson for us, obviously, from the story is that one should never judge another, as it says in the ethics of our fathers, do not judge one until you reach his place. But we see that in the beginning of this week's Torah portion, it says, Shoftim v'shotrim, that we should establish judges in our land. So how does the judgment of a judge work? Well, we see an interesting lesson of this. If someone were to be tried for capital punishment, because they were being tried for murder. So the rule was that there was a mini Sanhedrin, 23 rabbis would get together, and there would be a group that thought that he should be found guilty. They would become the prosecution. Then the other group who thought that they should be innocent would be the defense counsel, and one group of the rabbis would argue against the other group, and then they would have a vote. Now the rule was that if there was a majority by 1 to say that he's innocent, he's good to go. But if you need a majority of 2 to find him guilty. What happens though if all 23, there's unanimous vote, everyone says it's guilty? So the Torah says that these judges have deemed themselves unfit to judge in this case, and you have to let them go. Now, why is that? So the Rabbi explains that according to Chassidus, that it is as follows. That it cannot be that there shouldn't be one individual that should see some good in this person, that should present the positive side and present that person's perspective. So the moment every single one of the judges says he should be guilty, that means that they've lost touch with the individual. They can't identify with him as a person. And if not even one judge can identify with him as a person, then they cannot pass judgment on him. But that judgment, let's leave for the judges. The lesson for us is that we can never judge one another. We never know what's going on in the other person's life and so on. The only person we can judge is ourselves. Let's get to it, being that we're coming to the high holidays. And remember, you matter. So make a difference. Shabbat Shalom.